Aces bench that has been such a huge difference for this team. Bill Laimbeer this year bringing Jackie Young off the bench, along with last year's 6th Player of the Year, De'Erica Hamby. And do you want to say happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Angel McCoughtry. What is she, the big 3-4?
She is indeed 34 years old today, the native of Baltimore, Maryland, celebrating a birthday, and we're waiting a slight delay. There was a little bit of an issue with some of the statistical goings on at the court. Cheryl Reeve, second highest winning percentage in WNBA history, but she has the most important thing, and that is she has gotten herself some championships at Minnesota, 4 of them to be exact. Bill Laimbeer won 3 of them back when he was at Detroit, and when he was in Detroit, Cheryl Reeve was one of his assistants. And Bill told us today on the phone, one reason why he really wanted to hire her, he needed somebody to do all the work.
Yeah, said she was competitive, loved her tenacity, and Cheryl went her own way as a head coach in this league and has had great success.
So these two teams did meet earlier on in this season. It was back on August the 13th. We had the game for you on ESPN2, and Las Vegas won it by the final of 87-77. Bill Laimbeer, boy, this is a tough stretch, LaChina. 3 games in the last 4 days of the regular season. And how about this for back-to-backers? Saturday, Los Angeles, Sunday, Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas really has to be dialed in right now because that is a tough finish to the season, obviously wanting to finish in the top 2 spots so that they can get that double bye. And rest will mean everything for a team that is coming off of a back-to-back in the final regular season weekend.
All right, we are ready to get going. Carolyn Swords jumping it up, and we are underway. Dangerfield with the ball in her hands. Didn't take Nafisa Collier long to get going.
Right away, Minnesota going into Collier. That's going to be a tough guard for Carolyn Swords. Just doesn't have the mobility. We may see Bill Laimbeer go to his bench early defensively to get Hamby in the game.
Yeah, De'Erica Hamby has been so valuable to this team. Kayla McBride over to the birthday girl. Good start for Angel McCoughtry. Believe it or not, the first time she's ever played on her birthday.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, 11 years in the league. Of course, a lot of times as Dangerfield counters, McCoughtry gets the rebound, a terrific rebounding guard, but a lot of times her teams aren't playing this time of year, either because of the Olympic break or not making the playoffs, excuse me.
Transition defense is going to be really important for Minnesota. They need to have a better defensive showing than they've had against some of the top teams in the league. In particular, also on Tuesday night against Washington, as Demirs Dantes hits that 3. And Vegas likes to get a piece of the paint, so it's going to be about Minnesota keeping them out of the lane.
Las Vegas is by far the team that takes the fewest amount of threes in the league. McCoughtry's already taken a couple of them. They rely more on free throw shooting and a high percentage of 2s. That time, Dantes shot over Swords.
Demirs Dantes has a new contract and feeling good today. She has been outstanding for Minnesota on the offensive end. And the birthday girl feeling it early.
That is already the 3rd 3 that Angel has taken. She has hit 2 of them for a team that on average hits fewer than 4 per game.
And there used to be a time in Angel McCoughtry's career where you would say, give her that shot. But she is shooting more efficiently from everywhere on the floor right now. If you close out on her, she will go to the rim. So you have a slow close out on the 3. When she's feeling it like this, you have a choice to make in how to guard her.
Angel Wilson's first shot is successful. Right, Angel McCoughtry shooting 41% from 3. Has not taken a whole lot of them. In fact, 3 today, only 27 all year before what we have just seen in this quarter as we get our first whistle.
Angel McCoughtry took the 3 on that last possession. This time, probes a little bit, gets the ball to a moving A'ja Wilson. Wilson has a nice mid-range jump shot.
Asia scored double figures, 27 straight games, heading back to last year. Dangerfield can't get it to go. Bridget Carlton, though, gives her a second chance.
And that is what Minnesota does, as well as anyone in this league, is offensive rebound. You must get a body on them and box out. They are very active on the glass.
Oh, that's a great feed right where Wilson needed it.
And that's a look that Washington was getting on Tuesday, is Minnesota can't allow that pass over the top to the post player on the lob.
Carlton has not been a huge scorer as of late. She leads the WNBA in three-point percentage, hitting 50% of them, but doesn't take a whole lot. A little bit too strong from Asia. And then Asia forces the turnover. McCautry in front of Dantas for the easy two.
Allen did a good job of getting out ahead of everyone. Vegas does run the floor well.
Tied up early at 12 apiece. Now a good look from the baseline, and Collier got a nice friendly spin.
On her friend Asia Wilson. They have a podcast together. Now guarding Asia. They'll have a lot of tea to dish after this matchup tonight.
They might say some things during the game as well. Wilson this time with the nice pass.
Again, that's that pass that Minnesota has not been able to stop. They've either got to get more pressure on the basketball or make sure they're getting to that backside as the ball is in the air.
Cheryl Reeve has been very disappointed with her team's defense the last couple of games. Dantas leaves it short. In fact, Minnesota's given up more points than any other team in the WNBA the last 2 games. And it's a good thing, I think, for the rest of the league that Angel's never played on her birthday before, because she is off to a terrific start.
She just has a great energy about it to start this game. And once she gets the full steam ahead to the rim, you can forget about it. She is very slippery and finds a way to get a good angle on the glass. Getting in front of her is really tough to do because she's very quick.
Even at the age of 34, she already has 11 points this evening. She's averaging about 14.5 per game on the season. A quick shot from Minnesota from the outside, one and done as Swords got the rebound. 2 best rebounding teams in the league tonight. And who said they can't shoot threes? Kayla McBride's turn.
I always say you have to be able to knock enough threes down to keep the defense honest. So if the D's collapsing in on Wilson, you can hit a couple threes, loosens up the offense. Good balance from Vegas to start. Hey, hey, it's your birthday. Angel McCautry getting buckets. Happy 34th.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA is brought to you by AT&T 5G and Taco Bell. Order ahead and pick up your favorites at our contactless drive-thru.
That led the Atlanta Dream to 3 WNBA finals and then suffered an ACL injury in 2018 and was not able to get back for 2019, missing significant time, making the tough decision to leave Atlanta, the only franchise she had played for, to come to Vegas, and so far, definitely paying off.
And De'Erica Hamby wastes no time. Last year's 6th Player of the Year gets the bucket in transition. And boy, Angel McCautry, you saw, has played in more playoff games than the rest of her Vegas teammates combined in her career. Has that experience. Nice turnaround for Collier. Very, very smooth player.
Well, and Asia Wilson has some inches on Collier. Wilson's listed as 6'4", Collier's 6'1", so her outstretched arms of Asia Wilson, Collier gets the ball up and over her.
Yeah, that nice fadeaway too helps. And then the rebound for Dantas quickly gets it over to Dangerfield. And then the outside shot, Rachel Banham.
And the three-point shot is really where Minnesota has gone offensively without the production of Sylvia Fowles. Their three-point shooting has increased in terms of percentage, number of made three-pointers per game. That's where they've been able to make up for no Syl.
They average 8 threes per game. Minnesota down by 2. Dangerfield taking it right to Danielle Robinson, who is coming off the bench. Vegas with the most productive bench in the WNBA. Jackie Young, one of the reasons why both Young and Hamby averaging in double figures and have not started one game this year.
A little combination here offensively for Minnesota. First interior, good post up, demanding the ball by Collier. Good reverse pivot there with the fadeaway shot. And here, it's the cross-court pass that sets that up. Defense can't recover, and nice three by Banham.
Crystal Robinson with the drive. You could hear one of her teammates say, Crystal, I think it was Nafisa who won the ball. Crystal took it in and scored.
As we heard Holly talk about in the open, this is a tough defensive guard matchup for Crystal Dangerfield. She will be defended by a variety of players with different sizes and speeds. Jackie Young may guard her. Danielle Robinson may guard her.
Hamby gets it out to Young and then posts up because she has the height advantage over Dangerfield. Finally, they get it to her, and she's fouled.
Not sure where Minnesota was trying to go defensively there because they never got matched up.
I think Hamby's eyes lighting up when she noticed that Dangerfield was guarding her. Vegas is such a good free throw shooting team. As we take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule, this is a big one for both Washington trying to stay alive and LA trying to get into the top 2 of the standings at 10 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Doubleheader on Saturday on NBA TV, Washington, New York, Vegas and LA. That'll be terrific. And then Sunday, we close things out for the regular season with Vegas and Seattle, 3 Eastern time on ABC. WNBA.com and the WNBA app has your information.
And keeping in mind for LA, Brittany Sykes questionable after missing the New York game with an abdominal contusion. Sydney Weeks is out with an ankle injury. Tia Ruffin-Pratt is out with a shoulder. Not what you want to see for LA as you finish up the regular season and head towards the playoffs. You want to be healthy.
Very few teams are. Hamby, wow, that is just a terrific work down there by Collier.
I mean, check the footwork.
Gee whiz.
She created something out of nothing.
Minnesota responding well out of that timeout. They're on a 9-1 run to take the lead. Sugar Rogers usually doesn't wait long to shoot. And she did not in that time either.
Collier's involved in every possession down the floor on both ends. Just a workhorse, never stops moving.
Dangerfield working against Robinson and then lost her footing. Jackie Young, usually money from there. She's missed her first 2 shots of the evening. Hamby comes up with another rebound. Hamby, the second leading rebounder on this team, get it up to Swords, and she'll have an opportunity at the foul line.
Nice job by Kaylin Swords to run the floor. Good air on that by Robinson, puts it on the money. And again, that's that pass over the top. Not a lot of size inside for Minnesota without Sylvia Fowles, and teams have been using that lob pass, getting buckets in the interior.
Coming into this game, Las Vegas has shot 177 more free throws than their opponents. And that's just in 19 games, and that's part of Bill Lambeer's philosophy. He does not like to rely on the 3 ball, even though they've been hitting it in the first quarter. But they get to the line. Asia Wilson, one of the very best, gets there 7 times a game. And that's where they have been doing so much of their damage the last couple of years, but this year in particular. Inside a minute to go. Robinson working on Young. Or excuse me, Dangerfield working on Young, and then Robinson knocks it out of bounds. for the Aces, this kind of says it all, right? They only rely on 13% of their points from beyond the line.
But they're really, really good at the free throw line. #1 in free throw attempts, free throws made per game. They shoot it at a high percentage. Bill has an equation he uses in his mind as Herbert Harrigan gets it to go. If they can shoot 2-pointers at a higher percentage than their opponent, they get those free throws and they're on the glass. Somehow he figured it out where they can equalize the three-point shot.
And they certainly have done that. Neutralized it plus.
Oh, did I say equalize?
Oh, that's fine. It's the same thing. I just used a synonym, a different word.
You know, Marilyn.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, show
out. I know.
I'm a thesaurus.
Just because you look cute today.
I don't know about that. Holly will be the judge. Here we go. We're inside 10 seconds. Oh, boy. Dangerfield just blew right by Sword. She's fearless. Drew the foul. You sure she's a rookie?
The change of direction and speed on this move through the legs, comes back to the right, takes some contact. 5-5, but a blur. What a move.
Wow, unbelievable for Dangerfield. There you see. Right now at the 6th highest points per game by rookie in the last 10 seasons, and all of those names are just great talent. And Dangerfield is right in that company, and again as a 2nd-round pick. So that is a really good first quarter for Minnesota.
Minnesota was led by Nafisa Collier. She got busy on the interior. We saw her with the long ball, rebounding.
Get a trip to the free throw line after hitting that one.
Asia could do that with her eyes closed on the left side, deep post, left-handed. Just really good elevation and use of the glass. Didn't even look like she was expecting the and one. She was surprised by it.
I think Nafisa Collier was too, the podcast buddies.
T with A and feet. It's a really good listen.
Yeah.
I listened to the episode with Candace Parker. It was fantastic.
Some pretty good basketball players too.
You think?
Parker and LA again tonight. They have a game against Washington. Playoffs begin on Tuesday. They got Sugar Rogers for the foul. Sugar played for Bill Laimbeer in New York. Now her 2nd season with Vegas.
One reason why Minnesota has the lead in this game is they've done a nice job on the glass. Just a small advantage, but an advantage, and that's a number to keep your eye on. If Minnesota can out-rebound Vegas, they will give themselves a shot in this game.
2nd foul on McCautry on that last inbounds attempt for Minnesota. Banham with Wilson guarding her, just threw up the wild shot, and then a foul on the follow. Everybody was expecting Banham to pass out of that.
She decided to take Asia Wilson, which I don't know, that was a great decision. And then Damaris Dantes sliding in for the offensive rebound.
2 quick fouls on Rogers. Dantes heading to the free throw line, having a breakout season. In her 6th year with the team, was taken 12th overall in 2012. And joined Minnesota a couple of years later. Actually played with Angel McCautry for a couple of years in Atlanta.
And did not play with Erica DeSouza, as all of the Atlanta fans were inboxing me, correcting me from Tuesday night. You know, everyone's got to be right. But it felt like they played together. And I was there, Pam. I was the analyst for 12 years. I mean, I must be getting old, you know? Jeez.
McCautry aggressively to the basket.
I mean, what do you do about that? She doesn't have a lot of space to operate, and yet she still finds a path to the basket.
13 points.
Hey, I didn't want you to beat yourself up, LaChina. You were correct. Damaris and Erica DeSouza have played together on the Brazilian national team. You were absolutely correct.
Okay, I just had the wrong team, huh?
Yes.
See, that's what a teammate really, you know, I appreciate you for that. The Atlanta fans were definitely disappointed in me. That's okay. I still love that.
Nah, but you were right. They played together in Brazil. Terrific pass on the go. And the finish for Herbert Harrigan, who was the 1st round pick of this team. taken 6th overall. 10 picks before Dangerfield was taken in the 2nd round.
A little bit of a surprise to some was Herbert Harrigan, but she's had some bright moments. Shot the 3 well early in her rookie campaign. Cheryl Reeve gets to work with her, trust me. She'll be a better player every year. Here's Herbert Harrigan. Good one-hand pass from Odyssey Sims on the run, and then the extra pass to the corner for McBride.
Vegas has made 4 threes already. That's more than they average per game on the season. Wilson backing up, a little bit too strong, and Dangerfield gets it, always with her head up.
Good job by Dangerfield coming over to double Asia Wilson at the last minute. I don't think Wilson was ready for that.
Hamby thought about it, now gets it over to McBride. And a nice feed right into Asia.
You cannot allow Asia Wilson to get prime real estate on the left side of the floor untouched, because she will just turn and score every time. McBride does a good job here. Good ball movement. They go right into her. Angel McCautry did not even wait. She saw the space, puts good air on that pass as well. Dantes comes over, doesn't matter.
Second foul on Dantes. Asia Wilson already with 9 in this game. McCautry has 5 assists this evening. And we're knotted up at 35. Carlton has it kicked by McBride.
See Sylvia Fowles giving Demirs Dantes some instruction there on the sideline. Still very involved in this team and trying to impart her wisdom and her experience on this young squad. Second youngest team in the WNBA.
Dangerfield, one of the youngest, knocks it down at
Guys, you talk about missing Sylvia Fowles. We've seen it so many times tonight with that entry pass that you're talking about that has hurt Minnesota in their last 2 games. But there is help on the horizon. We are told that Sylvia Fowles is likely to return to this team for the playoffs. It would be better if they get a bye in the first round, but if they don't, they are hoping she can join this team. I've seen her moving. Cheryl Reeve said she's moving better every day. Can you imagine getting Sylvia Fowles back just in time for the playoffs? It almost doesn't seem fair.
Oh, it doesn't seem fair at all, especially with Odyssey Sims playing better, Holly. Good run there by Vegas. But when you think about the top teams in this league, you have to have stout interior defense, whether it's Vegas, LA likes to function in the paint with NECA and Candace Parker, or Natasha Howard and Brianna Stewart in Seattle. You need, she has taken already in this game, when you think about the evolution of Angel McCautry's career, I mean, for her to be shooting the 3 as well as she is right now just makes her an even more dangerous weapon.
Yeah, well over 42% on the season. Odyssey Sims trying to get something going, but Hamby was able to get the offensive rebound. Vegas relying on the 3. They actually have both shot and made. They've shot more 3s, excuse me, than free throws, which is highly unusual for this team, and they've made 5 of them, which is the most they've had for any and a half this year. Oh my goodness.
And that's what Asia Wilson creates, floor spacing. When the defense comes to double on Wilson, it's a tough recovery to the 3 when the floor is spaced so well.
6 threes for this team. McBride is 3 for 3 from distance. That's a good cut, and they found Nafisa Collier in stride. She goes into double figures.
She just reads the offensive end really well. Sees the openings, can get to the gaps, creates easy opportunities.
Feeling it from the outside, Kayla McBride. 4 for 4 now from 3.
And McBride is shooting the lowest percentage of her career this year from 3, but making up for it tonight.
That's right, only 28% from distance, by far a career low. She had a career high 43% from out there last year. So a big dip, but that's changing tonight. turnover. Wilson with the good contest. Odyssey Sims fouled actually by Wilson on that play.
Not giving up on the play here. Bridget Carlton, the hustle to a cutting Odyssey Sims, gets to lay it up with her strong hand. Seeing a lot of fight from this Minnesota team. Buckets seem to have come easier for Vegas in this game, the way they're shooting the three, but Minnesota really gutting it out.
This season, joining her team a little bit late because of her pregnancy. She had her baby in April, and her baby Jaden is here, just his second game watching his mom play. Her 4-month-old baby has joined her here in the bubble with help from her mother, but it's just a miracle that this woman is out playing basketball at this level 4 months after giving birth.
Yeah, absolutely, Holly. And Cheryl Reeve has given Odyssey Sims so much credit. At first, it was everybody assumed she wasn't going to play at all. She has played herself into shape, and back when she was shooting that free throw, we showed the graphic. The last 3 games, she really has been coming on. And that is her adorable baby boy, Jaden.
That's the life right there. I mean, you're snug, you're getting a little movement, you get to watch mom play. And Odyssey Sims is coming off of a season-high 27 points against Washington, so she's starting to get in better shape, shooting the ball well in her last few games, shaping up just in time.
McBride with the miss from the outside, first time that she has missed from out there tonight. Hit her first 4. Asia Wilson just works so hard, frustrated she didn't get the basket, but heads back to a very familiar spot, and that's the free throw line.
Asia just seems so much bigger than Minnesota's front line. And as we heard Holly talk about, you know, Sylvia Fowles, that's a situation where at least you could give Asia a different look, because if she starts to get comfortable with her defense, it's just tough to stop her. She gets into a rhythm.
Sunday, the final day of the regular season. There's Sil. And we have, look at this matchup. You kidding me? The top 2 teams in the league right now, the Aces and the Storm. 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Seattle going to play Phoenix tomorrow, and both Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart are listed as questionable. Sue knocking knees with Satu Sabali, and Stewie has a foot issue. Collier from outside.
Speaking of Phoenix, that game last night against Connecticut, wow, what a game. Skylar Jenkins-Smith hits an impossible 3-point shot from the logo to get it to overtime. But honestly, I didn't expect Connecticut to even be in that game without Breon January and Jasmine Thomas. I mean, DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas are playing great.
Yeah, Alyssa Thomas doing all the little things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. Robinson picked up the foul after hitting a shot on the other end. And Connecticut, that's a great story right there, LaChina. They started out 0-5. And in a 22-game season, they were able to clinch a playoff spot with like 3 games to go.
And Alyssa Thomas is just doesn't get what she deserves in terms of the appreciation and what she does on the court at both ends. As a matter of fact, today in our Hoop Streams episode, Rebecca Lobo is starting to shift my mind on Defensive Player of the Year with some of the points that she made on Alyssa Thomas. And I know Kurt Miller talked about it in his presser as well, but she guards every position on the floor. She rebounds it. She's often undersized, you know, trying to play against bigger posts, and can also switch out and guard the perimeter. She's just really special. And her effort, she just doesn't give up on a play on either end.
Yeah, she plays her kind of like, you know, catchings. Just never seems to take a play off on both ends of the floor. Very intense player.
Agreed. Very good comparison, too. And that says a lot.
Yeah, because catching's the best. Hamby way wide right. High-scoring game. Hamby comes up with the turnover for the Aces. If the Aces win out these 3 games, they're tough. Minnesota, LA, and Seattle. They will be the #1 seed because they would have beaten Seattle twice. Oh, Asia. So versatile.
And how Dangerfield gets past Asia Wilson. That was an angle. She had to find that on the glass because Asia was running up her back.
We have a timeout on the floor. Asia Wilson looking good tonight.
Did you say MVP? You say Asia Wilson. Spot up, spacing, money. Best places for them to be successful.
Hamby going to the free throw line this time. And Lindsay Whalen still keeping in touch with Coach Reeves. She said that she texts her very often. Lindsay, the head coach now at her alma mater, the University of Minnesota. Of course, they got Sylvia Fowles in the trade, a three-way trade that actually involved Damiris Dantas. That was slightly huge.
You guys are talking about what a great coach Cheryl Reeves has become in this league, and I think year in and out, she's probably the best coach, one of the best coaches in this WNBA. But one of the coaches that gave her her start and was a great mentor to her was Bill Lambier. He hired her for a coaching job on his Detroit Shock team. He said, I had Rick Mahorn as one of my assistants, but I needed somebody who would do all the hard work. And after 10 minutes interviewing Cheryl Reeves, I knew she was that person. Said the other thing that stood out about her is she was super competitive. He has been a great mentor to her, and then she's gone on to mentor other many great players, 2 who are on her assistant, or 3 who are on her coaching staff right now.
How about Bill admitting that Cheryl was going to do all the work? Yeah. She definitely benefited from it.
Oh, from the outside, it's Nafisa Collier again.
Boy, Collier is on fire in this first half. 7 for 10 from the field. She's barely missed. 7 rebounds already.
Ties it up at 54. What a game this has been as we're inside a minute to go in the first half. Jackie Young has been rather quiet so far in this game. Actually, has not scored. 0 for 5 from the floor. Carlton front rims it. Hamby picks it up. The Aces have taken a timeout with 18 seconds left on the shot clock in playoff position jockeying. Oh, that'll work. Out of the timeout. Kayla McBride. Very little difference between the 2 clocks. Dangerfield, the rookie. Now with the switch, he goes right by Asia Wilson. Can't get the shot to fall. McBride with the heave, but Las Vegas leads it by 2 at the half. Again, the Aces trying to stay in that top 2 position to get the double bye, and Minnesota
finding and recognizing spots on the floor where she can take advantage and get a score. And for the Las Vegas Aces, it was Angel McCautry who really got things going from the three-point line, rather surprisingly, probably to most that follow this team. She was 3 of 4, but she also got to the rim, 16 points, 5 assists in the first half for the birthday girl.
And those are some terrific numbers for both of them. Time now to go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, Las Vegas has spent much of this WNBA season as one of the best, if not the best, defensive rebounding team in the WNBA, but not so tonight. They have been out-rebounded by Minnesota. It's giving them too many second-chance points. And Tanisha Wright, one of the assistant coaches here for Las Vegas, has been getting on them about it in the huddle. She's like, you can't just jump. You have to have a body on people. This Minnesota team getting the work done on the glass.
If anyone knows, Holly, it's Tanisha Wright. She has been in the battles and has been a great addition to Bill Lambier's staff. We've heard from a couple of their players just saying how much of a voice she is. Bill really trusts her, and she's absolutely right about the rebounding. I mean, that was one of the numbers that we said was surprisingly early. Minnesota had a really nice advantage there.
And they did indeed out-rebound them in the first half by 4. And Dantas hits the 3 to get it down to a 1-point lead. Las Vegas, 7 of 15 from 3 in the first half. 7 made threes and a half, the most for this franchise since 2017. So long ago, they were still in San Antonio. It's a team that by far shoots the fewest threes in the league this season, but it was working from the outside in the first half. And how about Jackie Young getting the start for Las Vegas? Young 0 for 5 from the floor in the first half, has not started a game all year, but gets to start the second half.
And we've seen these kind of adjustments from Bill Laimbeer. We've seen him start Danielle Robinson in the second half of a game. We've seen him start Dearica Hamby. I mean, these are players that even though they come off the bench, they play starter minutes and give starter-like production. So Bill obviously needing a punch here and putting Young in the game, who's very strong on both the offensive and defensive end.
She gets the start in lieu of Lindsay Allen, who has been the starting point guard all year. Hello, Asia Wilson with the block on Bridget Carlton and some emotion.
Angel McCautry was slow to recover on the screen by Dantas, but don't worry, I got your back, says Asia Wilson, and blocks it and maintains the possession, which is even more important.
Yeah, blocked it right back into Carlton. And she has really turned it up the last 14 games. As far as blocks, her defense, big improvement in this, her third season in the WNBA.
No surprise here, Bill Laimbeer looks to get Kayla McBride going on the offensive end. She just looked really good in the first half coming off the screen. She's got that quick release, looking for her shot, bring some balance to the offense.
Fans can cheer on their team using Tap to Cheer in the WNBA app. Aces and Lynx fans already. This is impressive. 558,874 taps for this game. Team with the most taps at the end of the game wins. Go to WNBA.com, check the leaderboard, and see how your league stacks up against the rest of the league. And this is particularly impressive because there's a lot going on in the world of sports tonight.
Yeah, the busiest night in sports ever. So for fans to be checking in and tapping in to cheer, we appreciate you. That's an impressive number on a night like this.
And you're seeing a good game, too. 3-point advantage. That turnover forced by Kayla McBride. McCautry forces one up, sticks with it, and gets fouled on the follow. Angel McCautry, born 34 years ago in Baltimore on this day.
Who else but the Tamika Catchings? I mean, I know, Pam. Your favorite player of all time.
Favorite player of all time. No one played harder, no one was more well-rounded, and no one's a better human being. She's the complete package for me.
What a defensive player she was in her time, and that's kind of been the Achilles heel of her Indiana Fever team this year. No doubt, though, Catchings will get that defense up to par.
Yep.
Nothing else. She knows about that defensive grit and toughness. It's what defined her as a player.
Now the general manager of the Indiana Fever, McCautry. That's part of her repertoire, to steal and take it in. And the Lynx have taken a timeout. Vegas off to a good start in the third quarter.
Well, Angel McCautry got half of the game, coming out, stroking the three, getting to the rim, but she also knows how to shoot the gap and get a steal and get out and run defensively, just creating opportunities. And McCautry loves this time of year. This is where she is at her best. It puts on her best performances headed towards the postseason.
Well, Bill Laimbeer told us that when he signed her, it was with an eye on the postseason. He wanted her experience, and he said, you know, I've been playing her limited minutes, about 20 minutes a game, but that's about to get ratcheted up. They want her to play maybe 26 minutes a game, getting ready for the playoffs. Well, they will lean on her more heavily. More importantly, he said she's taken over games on defense. Her presence is going to be huge for this young Aces team.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why Cheryl Reeve called that timeout is that the Aces picked up 4 points off of turnovers in the first couple of minutes there in this third quarter, as well as giving up 2 second chance points. Those are two things that you can control, turnovers and boxing out.
Another monster block for Asia Wilson, and then back-to-back turnovers. Angel McCautry with her 5th 20-point game of the season. Here's Asia being Asia.
Boy, and good body control. Doesn't make enough contact there for a foul call. Just stretches those long arms out. And one thing that Bill really brought to my attention was her improvement on the defensive end. He just said that coming into this season. He hadn't seen her play as well or that dominantly on that end of the floor.
That shot does not count. There's some contact underneath. Minnesota led this game by 5 after one quarter, trailed by 2 at the half, but Vegas has come out strongly here in the third quarter. Foul on Shanice Johnson, who has checked in for the first time for Minnesota. Minnesota trying to stay in that top 4 and at least get a bye and not have to play on the first day of the playoffs, which is on Tuesday. McBride wide right. Asia with the hustle, but shot clock violation because McBride's shot did not hit the rim. Bristol Dangerfield with 13 points this evening has not scored yet in the third quarter. Vegas with the win today would pull to within a game of first place Seattle. Seattle plays Washington at 10 Eastern tonight. Long 3 for Dangerfield.
Really good two-man game there to get that 3 for Dangerfield. I believe that Bill Laimbeer starting Jackie Young in the third quarter had a lot to do with what he wanted to do defensively against the rookie.
McCautry does it again, draws contact.
Her fourth. 14 fouls.
Right here, good screen here. Jackie Young struggles a little bit to recover, and then another drive into the lane by Nafisa Collier, and good dish. Good two-man game between those two players to get it to go.
Damaris Dantas has just picked up her 4th foul for Minnesota, so she checks out in favor of Erica McCall.
And that changes the floor spacing on the offensive end for Minnesota because of how well Damaris Dantas had been shooting the 3. McCall, not the offensive player, but has really shown some good stretches on defensive rebounding. And even Tuesday night, I thought she played some really tough minutes for Cheryl Reed.
Yeah, she played 12 minutes against Washington, 3 points, a couple of rebounds, and good defense, as you mentioned, in what was their 2nd straight loss. Collier's turnaround won't go. Minnesota, a 500 team since Sylvia Fowles went out with the right calf injury. And as Holly Rowe reported earlier, Minnesota is hopeful to get her back for the playoffs.
Minnesota really denying Kayla McBride any type of look at the basketball, and that was one of the concerns of Bill Laimbeer coming into this, is how Minnesota can change what you do offensively with how they deny. He said we have to work hard to get open, not turn the ball over. Turnovers have definitely plagued Las Vegas in stretches, but they're doing a nice job of taking care of it tonight.
Las Vegas also hoping to string together 40 good minutes. Bantam can't hit. They had a substantial lead against Indiana the other day, but then the Fever got to within 2. Here comes Dangerfield all the way across court. And Shanice Johnson. Collier guarded by Hamby. That's a good matchup. Johnson. Over to McCall.
That's it. When you get an opportunity coming off of the bench, and as much as we've talked about Vegas's bench, Minnesota does not have anywhere near the contributions that the Aces get off the pine. So if McCall can come in and make those kind of shots and get a rebound right here.
Yeah, it's a bonus for them. Yeah, and Lexi Brown not available tonight for Las Vegas, for Minnesota. She is back in concussion protocol for the 2nd time this season. Danielle Robinson draws the foul. Johnson got her. But this Las Vegas Aces team on pace right now to be the highest scoring bench in the history of the WNBA, led certainly by the dynamic duo of Jackie Young and De'Erica Hamby, both averaging in double figures. And if that plays out, if neither one of them starts even one game this year, they'll be the first teammates to ever come off the bench and score in double digits in the same season.
When you look at the minutes and the production of players like Jackie Young, Dearica Hamby, they could easily be starters. What I thought was brilliant by Bill Laimbeer is that bringing them off of the bench, to me, seemed to be a motivational factor for both players. I think Hamby thought, hey, Cambage is out, I'm going to start. And Jackie Young, who started thinking, you know, Kelsey Plum is out, okay, I'll definitely be in the starting lineup. Neither player was, and it just seemed to have motivated them coming off of the bench to, I mean, those numbers are just fantastic.
And this Las Vegas bench actually just got deeper. Vegas has signed Emma Cannon. She will be available to play in the next couple of days. She's here quarantining in Bradenton, Florida. And she's a really quality player with a lot of toughness. People really respect her game. So that deep Vegas bench just got even more deep.
Yeah, Holly, she played in 34 games, I believe, in 2017 for Phoenix. She's a good rebounder, tough. Seems like Bill's pedigree.
Absolutely, his kind of player. She's 31 years of age. Just tore it up in the Hungarian league last winter. And they did have an open roster spot. Remember that Liz Cambage is out, got the medical exemption. Kelsey Plum, unfortunately, tore her Achilles tendon. And Bill Laimbeer's team looking good as they head into this stretch run. Trying to stay in that top two to get the double bye all the way to the semifinals.
Minnesota could use an X factor right now. Dangerfield, Collier doing their part. They need someone to kind of be a spark plug. Dantes right now on the bench, someone to give them a little more of a scoring punch.
Good double on Wilson. That left Danielle Robinson open. And Danielle Robinson really working on her three-point shot as her career has gone on. In her first 6 years, she was 0 for 33 from distance. Picking that up in the last couple. Played for Sherry Cole at Oklahoma.
Just another turnover there by Minnesota, but they did a good job defensively of getting back in transition. You saw two players covering Asia Wilson. And normally you would say, let Danielle Robinson shoot that, but the way she has shot over the last couple of games, starting to get confidence, which could spell trouble.
Yep, she had 9 points, including a 3 in that win against Indiana on Tuesday.
And Minnesota just really coughing up the basketball right now.
D-Rob, 2 in a row. Oh my. I wonder if she's ever hit 2 threes in a row in her career. Well, the Las Vegas Aces, the team that has relied on the three.
Been absolutely perfect for him. This is the best basketball we have seen her play since she tore that Achilles ankle or Achilles tendon. And D-Rob said, I feel really good. I feel confident. I've never been better. And it's nice to see her fit in so well with this Las Vegas Aces team.
Yeah, giving them a little bit of what Sydney Colson had given them previously, but this three-point shooting giving them a little more of a punch.
Have a little bit of an offensive burst. D-Rob tore her Achilles tendon back in 2016, missed the entire season, and is coming back with a vengeance, and Coach Laimbeer says she's really enjoying her role for the Aces. Winning, I'm sure, helps. Jackie Young got bumped and hit it. So a really good third quarter for the Aces.
This is what Jackie Young likes to do. Get to the middle of the floor. Her mid-range game has been outstanding in stretches this season. And she's just got the kind of strength that you can't stop her from getting in the paint. And now she's starting to put a little touch on that shot. Bill mentioned to us that coming into the WNBA, he wanted her to get her shot up some, said it was flat and really worked on her form as well.
Yeah, the mechanics of the shot was not to his liking. A lot of work for her. Banham, yes. Rachel Banham, who was a really good three-point shooter, puts it on the deck and gets fouled.
This is what they need. Everyone on the Minnesota roster has to be looking to take advantage of scoring opportunities. You got a big on you. Rachel Banham, eyes get big, gets to the rim.
Swords with the foul. Rachel Bannon went to Lakeville North High School in the Twin Cities area. Was thrilled to be able to come home to play after beginning her career in Connecticut. Broke that 9-0 run for Vegas. McBride with a little one-hander, tried to follow it. Young able to get in there and swipe it.
Only 13 points for Minnesota in this third quarter after a lot of scoring in the first half. 54 points, in fact.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Asia Wilson is not on the floor for the Aces. Neither is Angel McCautry. D-Rob directing traffic. Into Hamby, nicely done. And then with just 5 seconds left, that's not a smart foul for Robinson. I think we all heard Bill say, oh no. Bill Lambier not thrilled with that foul near the midcourt line that will give free throws to Dangerfield. Dangerfield 13 points in the first half. That's just her 4th point of this quarter. Robinson using that speed, going coast to coast. Vegas wanted a foul call, none coming. But after 3 quarters, Vegas with the 12-point lead. It was a very good third quarter indeed, outscoring.
And so we have to stop fouling and help whoever's driving.
Thank you, Nafisa.
Thank you.
Yeah, Holly, in fact, in that third quarter, 9 trips to the free throw line for Las Vegas. Another turnover here to start the fourth quarter, which I know Cheryl Reeve isn't happy about. 6 turnovers for Minnesota that third quarter that led to 9 Vegas points, and you can add another 2 to that.
Quite a difference. Pam Ward, LaChina Robinson, and Holly Rowe joining you on this final Thursday of the regular season. Playoffs begin on Tuesday on ESPN2. Good finish underneath for McCall.
And that's what Minnesota's going to have to continue to do. That second chance opportunity, going to the offensive glass, getting that second effort.
Jackie Young, who started the second half, was scoreless in the first half and has responded with 7 points since the break. Minnesota trying to avoid losing its 3rd straight game. Young at the line. Take a look at the upcoming calendar coming up at the top of the hour over on CBS Sports Network. It's a big game for both teams, Washington and LA. Saturday, NBA TV has Washington and the Liberty, and then Vegas and the Sparks. And Sunday, what a way to finish. Vegas and Seattle on ABC at 3 Eastern Time. Right now, they are the top 2 in the standings, which is where you want to be to get the double bye to the semifinals. Not so much of a matter between 1 and 2 this year without the home court advantage.
Yes, so you'll see teams to start to shut down when they realize that they're locked in to a certain position, whether that's 1 or 2, 3 or 4. Seeing that a little bit in teams that, you know, are locked into a 5, 6, 7, 8 position, can't move up. They start to sit players and just try to get rest when, you know, there's nothing really else you're playing for.
Yeah, and you really can't blame them, even under normal conditions, but because of this season with the compressed schedule, Vegas closing the season playing 3 games in 4 days. They will play LA on Saturday, finish with Seattle on Sunday. With the luxury of that deep bench, and they have, as all Aces fans, knock on wood right now, stayed healthy this season, especially compared to several other teams in the league.
And the most important thing is, you know, they're trending in the right direction. Right. You want to be playing your best basketball. You know, you get concerned for a team maybe like Chicago that is really missing Azarae Stevens and Diamond DeShields. Phoenix is playing their best basketball, trending up even after losing Brittany Griner. Tough one against Connecticut, though, who's not going to be an easy out either. I mean, you look across the board, and teams are really starting to step up. But some teams are going to may have some question marks starting the playoffs.
It will be a very interesting playoff indeed. And with that three, that sets a new franchise record for most threes in a game since Las Vegas moved from San Antonio. Since the franchise did, they have 10 threes. Very unusual. A third of their points tonight coming from the three-point line. That's not usually the way it is with these aces.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary when you think about it. The amount of discipline that they have on a nightly basis to get paint points and to focus on the interior, but showing that they can also knock down the long ball.
Dantas can't connect. And that is, you're right, that's terrifying considering how efficient they've been getting to the line, hitting the twos, rebounding, transition, paint points, and if they can add the three ball anywhere close to the efficiency they've had tonight, they're really dangerous going into the playoffs. Shot clock dying for Jackie Young. No problem. Great second half for Young, who was shut out in the first half. Now Minnesota just kind of in survival mode. Overwhelmed here in the second half. All the Phoenix fans watching, or you mentioned the big win against Connecticut. Phoenix, if Minnesota does indeed lose, both teams will be 13-8 in the tie for that number 4 spot.
When you start to look at matchups, it's Jackie Young getting the mid-range to go again. But when you start to look at matchups,
medical staff, Laura Ramos is their head athletic trainer. There's Michelle. There's Ramos there with she just breezed by. And all of the trainers, I would say, should get bonuses. Of course, it's not my money. Bonuses, all sorts of things for what they have had to do to get their athletes rested and recovered during this season.
It's like nothing we've ever seen, unprecedented. And keep in mind, they don't have their normal facilities where they would do ice baths and different procedures. So they've been, or different rehab. So they've had to be creative about how to get ice buckets. And I mean, we've seen just a number of players go down with ankle rolls and then they're back after a game or two. I mean, they're getting these women ready to hit the court and keeping them refreshed and ready all summer.
Odyssey Sims, I don't think we've seen her in the entire second half.
Yeah, 3 minutes. That's it. She's only played 3 minutes in the second half, and as we were having that conversation about who else could give them a punch, hadn't played much in the second half. And here she goes, though, making a difference now that she's in the game.
4 straight points for Odyssey Sims. You might have heard Cheryl Reeve, that was her voice saying, way to go, O. After she did the pick and the points. And then a stuff. Shanice Johnson gets it back out to the perimeter. Dantas left open for 3. She's been quiet for a while.
A nice run here by Minnesota. More aggressive defensively, getting some offense from Odyssey Sims. I mentioned in the open, but Nafisa Collier's #1 in the WNBA in minutes. She has to do a lot for this team, and her efficiency tends to drop a little bit in the second half of games, understandably, with all the minutes she has to play. And so the more players stay engaged and involved and can help to take a load for this team, the better.
Vegas knocking on the door of 100 points as Johnson is able to get in, get the hoop and the foul.
Shanice Johnson with a nice take baseline there. She is one of the players on this roster that missed some time with injury, but was expected coming into the season to really do a lot of the ball handling. And that's where Crystal Dangerfield has also had to step up with the absence of Shanice Johnson. Karima Christmas Kelly, we mentioned they lost from the perimeter as well. So this team has taken some hits.
Johnson missed 5 games with a hamstring earlier in the season. That last foul was on Jackie Young. This Minnesota Lynx defense had been stout for the last 3 games. They've given up a lot of points. They gave up over 100 in a loss to Seattle 2 games ago. And unless something really weird happens, Vegas will hit the century mark tonight against them. Hamby. Wilson really working hard, posting up against Dantas. Tried a risky pass that did not make it to Hamby.
Well, a good post up there by Collier. They just missed her very early in that possession. Got a smaller defender on her, was trying to get into the post.
Way downtown for Sims.
22, McBride 21, Wilson 18. And add to that 13 from Jackie Young and 12 from Danielle Robinson off of the bench.
Yeah, 33 points off the bench for the most prolific bench in the history of the league as far as scoring. Can they hit the century mark? Not this trip. Shanice Johnson. Nice lob inside to Collier, but Asia Wilson does it again. Gets the block and gets possession.
Just good help rotation coming over, and Nafisa Collier had not yet gotten her footing. They may have to talk about that one on the tee with A and V.
I think if I'm Asia, I'm bringing that up. That's for sure.
Nafisa had a very good first half. They both got some footing in this one, but obviously the Aces, like they'll roll to the victory here with 2:12 left.
Jackie Young hits the first one. Sunday, the final. The NBA playoffs continue Saturday, excuse me. Our coverage tips off Game 5 of the Western Conference. Rockets, Lakers, and then 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ES Deportes, and the ESPN app. And I'm hearing word that the Lakers won by a lot tonight. Can you confirm?
I have been focused on the WNBA.
Of course.
Pam.
I know Naomi Osaka won tonight.
You are our ticker in this studio, so we expect you to know the scores.
Well, you were just talking about Nafisa Collier, and you know how many points she scored in the second half? 0. She had 17 at the half, and she still has 17. That is unbelievable, and that's a major storyline. They're not going to win if she's not scoring.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where other players have to definitely try to step up, because when you can defensively just focus on Nafisa.
Yeah, she is 0 for 4 from the floor in the second half, has only taken 4 shots after scoring 17 in the first half. Minnesota only down 2 at the break. And then Vegas has turned it on. So Minnesota has given up now 100 points in 2 of its last 3 games. Coming down the stretch, they're going to fall into a 4th place tie with Phoenix. Phoenix plays Seattle tomorrow, and then they're finished. And Minnesota will finish Saturday against Indiana, who broke an 8-game losing streak earlier tonight against New York.
Live action still to come, Pam.
And if Minnesota and Phoenix end up tied in the standings, they will go into a tie-break situation that has not yet been decided and might not be until they're finished. Because it goes head-to-head, they split, so it goes into the secondary and tertiary tiebreakers that have not been decided yet.
There's another number tonight that stands out to me from Vegas. 30 assists.
Wow.
30 assists on 35 made field goals.
They average 20. So that is amazing. A great team effort for the Aces. This would be their 4th straight win. Puts them 1 game behind Seattle for the #1 overall seed. LA playing Washington later today and Saturday. How big is this one? Saturday afternoon, Vegas and the Sparks. Asia Wilson being looked at now by Michelle Anumba.
There'll be a lot of ice bathing between now and the end of the season for the Las Vegas Aces.
Is it ice bathing or ice bathing?
No, it's ice bathing. Ice bath, not bathe.
But when you take a bath, you are bathing.
Yeah, but
when
they're
you
not
take an ice bath, you are bathing.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Call me with any complaints.
So this would just about kill the clock. A very impressive second half for the Aces. Angel McCautry with 22, Kayla McBride 21, Asia with 20. They hit 10 of 18 threes. That is a new franchise record since they moved from San Antonio. And the Aces are looking mighty fine.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good in this game. I mean, and give some credit to Minnesota. I mean, they played a solid first half, in particular on the offensive end. Neither team was standing out defensively, but then the turnovers, Vegas really started to turn up the pressure. Big defensive third quarter for Las Vegas.
How about that? Shutting out Nafisa Collier in the second half. And Cheryl Reeve, who used to be an assistant under Bill Lambier at Detroit, gets the fist bump. The very happy 30.